Hello, can anyone see me? I'll just sit here, see if anyone comes on. I don't expect anyone to, because just the way my story goes. Okay, I don't have any subscribers, so I can't add them. I'd like to publish a poll. Anyone can see my stuff. Hello. Hmm. Oh, somebody saw it. Oh, I hate myself. Hmm. Okay, anyways, look, someone can see me. Thanks, Terry. This is going to be short and sweet. Oh, shoot, that's my wife. Okay, I'm gonna. Better check this. Oh, nice. Hello, my one follower. I'm gonna just talk a bit about grifters and frauds, and and how they affect Canadian sovereignty. For example, my job in the military and every ranger's job is to protect Canadian sovereignty since 1947. Okay, that's a given. Anyone can Google what is the main priority of the. Hi, Chrissy. Okay, good. It's working. The main priority of any rangers is to protect Canadian sovereignty. I swore an oath. We're the only Canadian forces that are able to take our rifles home with us and ammunition, military grade, for a reason. We're to protect Canadian sovereignty at all costs. Of course, they took all that stuff away from me. But the things that risk Canadian sovereignty, misinformation. Okay, we're talking about politicians that lie. They do that. It's kind of weird. No one believes that though. Or any government agency like the Canada Revenue Agency. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you. I wonder if does this record? It must, eh? Shoot. It's my first one on the computer. My computer wasn't working yesterday, but now it is. Even though I got a great big line right in front of my face, but I can't. Either way. But when these people lie and withhold the truth, that is risking Canadian sovereignty. Because there's a lot of people now talking about separation. Okay, that's not helping Canadian sovereignty. Most of these people who I called out years and years ago, some before the convoy even, that was their main tasking, was to cause separation. For example, Maverick Party, Wexit, with Tamara Leach, who knew my story long before the convoy. But she won't say it. Why? Because they all want separation. Because why? Because then their crimes are absolved. One of the reasons, Jason Levine, same thing, promised me the world, even on Pat King's auctions. He said, no, Kirk's story is very important. We got to get it out. Pat King even says Kirk's story is far out Trump's mind. But guess what? Now he's out of jail. How did he get out of jail so soon? Stop sharing my story. But either way, I had a run in with Kellyanne Wolfe. I'll be frank. I exposed a lot of people, and that was my job, to expose the corruption in Canadian leadership, politicians. It's everyone's job to do that. But actually, I was supposed to do it in the Ranger. It says right in there, protect Canadian sovereignty. And my warrant officer, Sergeant Major said, Kirk, you have to expose this in December of 2018. I didn't know it was going to ruin my life 6 years ago. I thought people would share the story. I thought people would ask a question. It's been 6 years. You think any government agency has responded to me? No. Recently, the MRCC or MPCC, Military Police Complaints Commission said they're going to investigate back to 2019, but guess what? I haven't got any calls yet. The Independent Disclosure Office, who is supposed to investigate, didn't give me any calls either. They closed all investigations. The military police closed all investigations without asking me any questions. The RCMP closed all investigations without asking me any questions after and these are all after I sent documentation. Not one question was asked after I initially sent my documentation. Why would that be? Because I could expose them all. Every political party. Maxime Bernier was the last one I had to get. And he fell for that hook, line, and sinker. Has anyone heard Maxime Bernier say, hey, look up the story of Kirk Riese, military whistleblower, or let Kirk Riese speak? 639-994-9310. Kirk Riese at outlook.com. My simple phone number and email. You think anyone in the grift following will share that? No. So, in order to avoid plausible deniability, I had to implicate everybody that I talk about. Just so you know, when I mention someone's name, Jim Keir, Colin Big Bear, Ross, whatever, Kellyanne Wolfe, I can expose them, no questions asked, nothing. They are complete frauds. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a quick one. So I just want to see if I can still get Kelly on her rant on TikTok. Oh yeah.
I'm not putting up with your shit. So I'm going to let you all know right now, though there are real concerns when it comes to the ostriches and what's going on around that farm, don't you think it's in the best interest that you send a cunt like me over there? Someone who knows the laws, who knows how to enforce them.
You see that okay? Can anyone see that?
Connections to every one of the top doctors, not just in Canada, but in the whole world. Someone who's been at this for 30 years and knows every angle that could possibly be taken.
Holy fuck, she's really good, eh?
by a government operation or not.
Military whistleblower with all the evidence.
So I don't need anybody. I'm
Grifter.
not going to ask anybody for trust because I know I'm trustworthy. But I'm going out there because this country and our movement matters to me.
Please do that, sweetheart.
And putting the policies in the hands of everybody matters. Those ostriches have gotten everybody to stop looking at each other and start looking in the same fucking direction.
What happened to the Freedom Convoy? I thought that was supposed to do that.
So if it takes those ostriches for this entire country to unify into one nation and make the changes we all fucking need.
Oh look, a fucking squirrel.
I'm going out there. And I'm going out there to save a bunch of fucking birds. And to stand beside my brothers.
I haven't watched this.
Unify the division that this government has imposed into the unity that we built over the last 5 years in this country.
She's such a fucking hero.
I will not be kind to anyone who tries to stand in the way. So unless you're looking to become fucking flat grass,
come at me.
Okay, so another video. And this has to be done because it's already beginning. Listen, folks.
I haven't watched any of this.
Okay, I am at the heart of this entire movement. I began it with everybody else back in 2020. Okay.
I've been in exile since 2019.
I know the laws in this country. And I know who everybody in this movement is. I know their colors, what their intentions
I gotta put my phone down.
Shit. What they're all about, who to trust and who not to trust. And
you guys can hear it, right?
You that. Okay? And that's why I'm one of the most gossiped about individuals in this country. That, and sometimes I'll bring it on myself. Because free advertising counts when you're broke as fuck. Because you've given up your entire life to fight for the lives of others.
6 years in exile.
I've done.
15 years military.
There is a group of individuals
undercover the last 6
who constantly shit on, berate, degrade, all these ridiculous accusations about everybody in this movement who does something productive.
Kellyanne Wolfe.
Okay? So I'm going to say this right now. When you hear accusations that Colin Big Bear or Jim Kerr, Papa Bubbles, is a grifter, you tell that person to fuck off. Okay?
You sound like Chris Barber now. Block everyone who talks against me.
Time.
You are evil.
Big Bear has ever raised a red cent. Do you know where that money's gone? Because I do. That's gone in to treatment for other men who have found themselves with addiction problems. That has gone in to funding and setting up events to bring light and to wage unities between people. Do you know what Jim Kerr has done? Jim Kerr has put his whole life on the line for this movement.
He's my hero. Jim Kerr's my hero.
Arrested as a distraction to keep me safe. He's been by my side since day one. He's one of the most honest, loving, understanding people I've ever met in my life, and he has never raised a red cent for anything. Okay? Jim and I were in the bubble bus in Perry Sound back in 2021, and the bubble bus broke down, and it just so happened that it broke down outside of the only dude in all of Perry Sound that followed me religiously on Instagram.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird people that follow
unlimited CAA and was able
famous
to
people, you know.
Broken down bubble bus.
Anyways,
home for Jimmy. Okay, and a shit show happened with that. Dermot's truck got taken and yada yada, but whatever. Okay, I know these men. I have lost my entire life. Someone's gonna call me a grifter?
Really?
I'm sleeping on my dad's armchair.
Well,
you can kiss my fucking ass.
I lost my house, my properties, 350 grand in the bank, my careers, kicked out of the military.
All these fucking immigrants who are shitting in corners and goddamn Airbnbs. Don't you fucking tell me.
She's cleaning up after immigrants and swearing at them? Oh, that's not good.
Define what controlled opposition is. It's these useful idiots that shit on the effective actions of everybody in this country that has put themselves in harm's way in some way, shape,
join the fucking army
for the sake of us all. I'm not putting up with your shit.
You got no choice, baby. I got all the evidence.
Right now, though there are real concerns.
Yes, it cost me $1,400 to get you.
The ostriches and what's going on around that farm. Don't you think it's in the best interest that you send a cunt like me over there?
You were supposed to come here too. So was Jimmy. So was Colin. So was Jeremy. So was Reb Shep. You know, so many of these people saying they're coming to visit me. Mocha Bersergan Media. He came here. He shared my story. Sharon and Elliot came here. They had trouble sharing my story, but they were here anyways. Yeah. Not cheap. Nicholas Awenchek came here. Cost me, all this stuff cost me a lot of money to get these stories out.
But I'm going out there because this country and our movement matters to me. And putting the policies in the hands of everybody matters. Those ostriches have gotten everybody to stop looking at each other and start looking in the same fucking direction. Do you know how hard that has been for us to do?
For all the grifters? Fuck yeah. How about share my story? That would get everybody facing the same direction. They can never pull anything on me. 6 years they've had to make up a story about me, and guess what? Nothing.
I'm going out there.
I was the best at exposing corruption in the government. And look where I am now, in exile the last 6 years. Because cowards like this and grifters won't press share. Don't be a grifter. Press share. I can't hear enough of this. I can't hear any more of this bullshit.
I will not be kind
I better not.
to anyone who tries to stand in the way.
Ooh.
So unless you're looking to become fucking flat grass, get the fuck out my way.
Please.
Unknown caller.
Okay. Just a sec. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, speak fast.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm from Mesa, Canada. Yeah.
You're from who?
This Mesa, Canada.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to call you back. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, I was done. But okay. Moral of the story. Anyone I call a grifter, anyone I call a corrupt fraud or anything like that, I can prove. Okay? I challenge anyone. Get Colin Big Bear, get Jim, whatever he calls himself, here, and get Kelly, and whoever you want, all at once if you want, to alive with me. I dare them. I dare these cowards, corrupt grifters. I just have to show my text. You know? I don't lie about anything. That's why the government hasn't been able to have me arrested since I was last arrested 6 years ago under the Mental Health Act for reporting corruption involving Trudeau. And these people are protecting Trudeau. And the reason they don't share my story, or sorry, the information that they asked me for, like Colin wanted me to go after Jeremy and Mackenzie. No, I said, well, you got to share my story first. But they won't. You know, Jeff Everly, he knows all about my stuff. He served with my commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Meads. I got him recorded on phoning me. You know, all these V4F, all these scumbag grifters, whatever. You know, support them all you want. You don't have to believe me, okay? You know, you don't have to. I don't give a shit. It's my duty. It's my job for every Canadian to wake up. And you don't have to. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for fame. I don't want to be known. I want to be like I made it perfectly clear 6 years ago. I want my kids to grow up in a somewhat normal life, but I can see that's not happening from what I can see in the outside world. Like we're okay here. Like we're actually great. Like I couldn't have picked it. Like I taught survival for Red Forces. You know, I did rescues. I'm in good shape here, but you guys aren't. The story isn't about me. It's about saving Canada. Erase my face, erase my name, just share the story. You know, if you're worried about the grifters, just say, hey, we got a whistleblower story someone should listen to. I get 2 or 3 likes, maybe 4 or 5 shares. Either way, I'm doing what I can. I'm gonna shut her down. I hope you know, please share this. Oh, sorry, that was Messer gas. I owe $100 for a oxygen acetylene tank for rental, and I don't have $100. So yeah, I'm late on my bills because the fucking government seized over $350,000 ago, 6 years ago, and no CRA employee is going to call me back and risk their pensions, helping a disabled, 111% mentally, physically disabled veteran who served his country for 15 years. You think I can get any shares from any of these grifters? No. What have they done for their country? What has Chris Barber done for his country except call me an idiot seeking attention? Then he gets all the Chris Scotts and the Marty Blanges and all the separatists, you know, to say Kirk's lunatic. Come on, guys. Do I look like a lunatic? But I do have all the notes that from when I was in the mental hospital with all the drugs they tried to give me, and you know, if anyone wants to look up an interesting court case. Oh shit. Never mind. I'll find it later. But yeah, the one in Bella Bella, where they illegally seized my 22 chicken rifle, and that's how I got kicked out of the army for having a 25 shot clip. Meanwhile, I have a 120 shot clip for another 22. You know, it was legal until Trudeau legalized it, but I just have the clip, no gun. But you know, that's the thing. People are fucking gullible. People can't believe this is happening in Canada. The altruism of Canada helping Canadians and everybody else. Nobody in Canada helps us. You know, kids' lives matter. Not my kids. Not to most people. We're collateral damage for Kirk Riese trying to expose the corruption, as was my last orders, December 18th, 2018, by Sergeant Major. They all got retired and promoted and disappeared. I'm still working. Either way, share my stuff or not, whatever. If you end this video now, you'll be able to choose if you want to save